Sam!
Hey Tina, good morning.
How's it going, guys?
It's going well, going well.
Jan, how are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Yeah,
Nice to
and
see
you
you.
enjoyed the journey to Las Vegas last week?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey Tina, we got the right time. We
Yeah.
got the right time this time. Yeah, let's go.
It was actually amazing. It was better than last year. The content was just so relevant to what I was focused on or am focused on right now. And of course, the company was superb, the people that I got to see. So, yeah, we missed you. Maybe next year, hey?
Cool. So I saw a picture from Ben on LinkedIn. So you are actually on LinkedIn now?
I'm on LinkedIn. You'll have to
Yeah.
send it to me. Oh,
No,
that's hilarious.
yeah. So,
I'm
but
like, that's like
I'm
celebrity.
planning to go next year,
Yeah,
definitely. So yeah,
it's a long way. I know. It's like me trying to come there, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
I have to
Sam,
combine with family visits. So no problem.
you were planning on coming, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. And then
So, but
reschedule.
too much work and too less time. So yeah, not
Yeah.
this year.
Fair. Sam, who do we need to talk to get you there next year? No, maybe he's not
I think
listening.
he's
Probably
looking for the
connecting
unmute
audio.
button.
Probably connecting
Oh,
audio. Yeah.
Joshua, you gonna turn on your camera, Joshua?
Hey Tina, not today. I'm not feeling very well, but I will on the next call.
I'm sorry to hear that. Are you sure you have pants on?
I do have pants on, luckily. That's not anything we have to worry about.
Who else is here we can harass to turn on their cameras? I can't find my button that shows me who's here. Tim, are you leading the party today?
Apparently, I asked Ben where he was at. He hasn't said anything, and I know Anthony's out right now, so apparently it's just going to be me. So this ought to be fun.
Well, yeah. Did you enjoy Red Boom?
Yeah, no, it was great. Learned a lot. Everything was pretty much AI overkill, but I mean, it was to be expected, I guess. So
I didn't attend a lot of AI stuff, but hey, Steven! Hi,
every single
Kara.
one I went into was AI driven. Like all they talked about was AI.
Yeah, I got other shit to get done before I focus on Copilot and shit. So yeah, I didn't attend a lot of those, but I got to see Steven. Yeah, he was there. That was cool.
All right, well, I think that's nobody else is in the waiting room, so we'll go ahead and get running, I guess. So I've only been on two of these prior to being left alone today. So we'll just go ahead and go with, does anybody have anything that they want to particularly focus on today? Does anybody have something that they have questions about? And I'll do my best to answer it and we'll go from there. And if not, we had our first SaaS Alert certification class at Right of Boom. It was more of a high overview than a true cert class because we're working on that. We're working on that class. We've made some major adjustments post the Right of Boom. So if you're going to connect in Vegas, you will see a much different course than what you saw at Right of Boom. And there was a question that we had in there in regards to impossible travel that we'll tackle today, at least as a an example to create an IOC for you guys. But does anybody have anything right off the bat that they want to ask about, or is everybody pretty good, or what's the scenario there? Let's see, any quick volunteers? Nope. Okay, well, cool. I'll share my screen then. So the question that was asked was essentially if somebody was to log in from two different locations simultaneously or within, the same hour as one another, how can you tackle that, or what would be the event that you're looking for? So I would encourage you. I'm actually going to give you guys a minute or two to see if you can find the event. So go to settings, customize alert, and if somebody was to log in from two locations, so they're not in the same location, so let's say they log in from New York and they log in from London, what event are we looking for? Does anybody know?
Maybe outside own location.
That is one that you could take advantage of, and I knew that one was going to come up, but that's not the one I'm looking for. There's one other event in there that I'm looking for that would trigger off of that same thing. And it's a Microsoft event if that helps narrow it down so you don't have to look through everything.
It's not Impossible Travel.
No. It's for Impossible Travel, but it's not called Impossible Travel.
So Steve is saying
I
login one
forget the
buttons.
the foreign application OAuth alert.
Nope, because so somebody logging in does not necessarily mean they logged in or OAuth into a foreign application.
Is it classified as a risky activity?
Technically probably could be, but that's not the event. I'll go ahead and I'll give it to you guys. So in here you have an event. If you search in different, you have the event right here, multiple login connections from different IP addresses. So that is the event that we want to take advantage of for what we would deem to be impossible travel. So somebody logging in from Florida, and then within 30 minutes, they logged in from Texas. Not typically something that's possible, right? Or they even log in from two different cities within Florida at the same time. So this is the event that we want to take advantage of and create an IOC around. Ignore that one right there. It's pretty much the same thing. I believe we're supposed to be getting rid of that one. From what I understood from Chip, but it's the multiple login connections from different IP addresses. So you can go to your IOCs, rules, create a new rule, and we'll just call this Impossible Travel for right now. You can always, come up with your own name if you want to. Microsoft, orgs and accounts, apply to everybody. And of course, always work off your excludes if you need to exclude somebody from something like this. Like I had a partner yesterday where we made this rule and he was like, ooh, it should not apply to this company because they've got 30 locations within a very quick time driving range. And I could go log in from one business, be there for 10 minutes, go log into another site and be there in 10 minutes. And then it would trigger that rule, right? So keep that in mind for the companies that you're dealing with, where they're based out of, and the odds of you traveling from location to location very quickly might be something you have to take into consideration. Conditions, and of course, we're going to grab that same event, log in from different connections here. Now, this could be noisy, right? Absolutely. And it could also warrant, Ben said coming soon. So yeah, hold on, let me message him real quick. Yes, I started it, Ben, because you were late. All right. Now, how to make this less noisy? We're going to take advantage of the unify logic that we have built in. So you're going to get filter and then unify device status is one of, and then we want unmanaged unknown and organizations without devices. So those that there, of course, when you work with unify rules, you have to add in that mobile logic. It's required. As it states right here, if you're going to use unify logic, you must use the mobile logic as well. So we don't want it to look at the mobile device. Now we can go a step further depending on if your Entra device managed or Entra joined. And then we can go Entra here, and then Entra device ID does not exist. So now we have multiple login connections from an unmanaged, unknown, or an organization without device, and also Entra doesn't exist. This has red flags written all over it. Right? So now I want to be notified that this event occurs, and that's your IOC now. So could you use this to take action with? Absolutely, right? So once we create this IOC, obviously to me, this would be critical. I would leave it there. Notifications, it is really to each their own as you guys take advantage of these. I utilize these in the rules where I need that bright red flag on the weekend. So if this were to occur on a Saturday afternoon when you're out having fun with your friends, are you more apt to see it an email or a text message or a mobile app pop-up or a robotic phone call? More likely one of these three. So definitely take advantage of the additional notifications outside of just an email or a PSA ticket. So we'll save that rule. Nope, we got to do the IOC config piece that I always forget. So Impossible Travel. I always just make it match the name. I don't do anything fancy there. You guys are welcome to make a difference. And just for those that have not taken advantage of this bottom blue box, let me explain this real quick. This box is awesome. This right here is what allows you to customize how your support ticket comes into play with IOCs. This is only available in IOCs too, by the way. This Respond does not have these. So you can do hi support. This event triggered from SaaS alerts. Take action. All right. And then I want app. I want to know what application was used in this event. I want to know which OS was used in this event. I want to know which user triggered this event. Anything beyond the first page, don't scroll, just search, make your life easy. User full name, which country did this originate from? We got country. Was a VPN present during this event? Right? It's all depending on which variables that you guys find important. So if you're not used to this area, I would tell you to go through and look at all the fields. Was a torrent used for this event? I had a customer in my last call was like, what about user agent? Absolutely. So what user agent was used during this event, right? So let's go agent. There you go. So now I can add that in as well. Let's say I want my joint description additional. So my details. And then up here, description details always equals the joint description additional. So now I have all of this. So this is, instead of me having to go to the event and sift through 55 lines to determine what is important or what's not, got one here, one here, one here, one here. It makes you less efficient. I now have all of this directly in my face in my support ticket or my email. So hopefully it will allow you guys to be more efficient at determining whether or not that IOC is positive or false positive. And one second.
Did I miss the party?
Hey, there's the Ben that left me on.
You're late, Ben. You're late.
I'm always late, man. I was just watching.
So
Happened.
So we got all this great information. This will be at the top of our email or our ticket, so we can again quickly determine whether or not it's positive, false positive. Hopefully, will help you close your tickets much faster versus you having to go into the UI and look at all the details. So we're going to save that, and then of course save our rule now. And now we have our Impossible Travel IOC. Now let's just imagine for a moment this is already synced over to Respond, which we know that it hasn't yet. But in Respond, of course, and for those of you that don't know, IOCs, whenever you guys create IOCs, never think, and let me go back over here real quick. When you create an IOC, this is not a Microsoft event. This is not a Google event. This is your custom event. So whatever company you work for, this is Tina's custom events. This is Sam's custom events. These are mine. I own these. These are mine. They're unique to me. And that's important because in Respond, when you create a new rule here, and we're just going to call this IOC, if I can spell, IOC test, and then I can grab the acronym here for IOC, events. We're going to go Microsoft, again, all orgs, all accounts, conditions. And if we open this up, Microsoft. But I don't want Microsoft's events. I want my events. I want Tim's events. So I'm going to paste in IOC, and now I have all of my IOCs that I've ever created here. Okay. The beauty of this is that that's normally a low. I can add an and statement, throw in another IOC, add an and statement, throw in another IOC. So now what I've said are if these three come true within the same hour, so let's go 1 time, 1 hour, 1 time, 1 hour, 1 time, 1 hour. All three of these came true. That's now mass critical for me. Microsoft, kick them out. Microsoft block sign in, right? And by the way, if you're not doing this, always expire account logins first. This is what kicks them out of the live session that they've hijacked. This only stops them from getting back in. I've also seen people do just this. That does nothing. If they don't log out, you don't stop them. Right? This just stops them from getting back in. So again, always make sure expire account logins is not reset passwords, but expire account logins is first, and then block sign in is second, as far as order of operations goes. Okay. Now let's go with the imagination caps here because obviously my IOC for Impossible Travel is not created just yet, but let's just say this is the one that we just created. And I want to create a response off of this because somebody logged in from multiple locations from an unmanaged unknown device and they came in and they created email rules. That right there, again, screams bad guy to me. So now I have this event where I have my Impossible Travel IOC in combination with, within 15 minutes, they create an email rule or change a forwarding rule. That to me is bad news. And again, taking action to kick those people out. And you can combo that with any Microsoft event. But that is the optimal way to take advantage of your IOCs within Respond. Hopefully all of that makes sense. Anybody got any questions about that?
Hey, Tim, I have something.
Yeah.
One thing that I always like to tell people as well is whenever you're defining that description detail under the IOC, you can use that as a filter here. So you can add filter and event description detail contains, and that will allow you to basically filter off of almost anything, even stuff that we don't typically filter off of when it comes to a respond rule, like things that don't exist in the event properties, if that makes sense.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like sometimes people like I want to get an event when somebody signs into one of my break glass accounts or something, but they don't want to go through the organizations and accounts and basically check all of those accounts one by one, right? So you can make under the IOC you could add the user account in there and then come into here and just like especially if you have like a common naming convention, like break glass or something like that, you can add that in there, which is kind of cool.
Gotcha. That makes
Isn't
sense.
that wild? Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
that makes
awesome,
sense.
but you went really, really fast. Do you guys already have this in place for us managed folks? So I don't have
Mhm.
to pay
Yep, we
attention.
do.
Okay.
There we go.
Totally. Yeah, but for people that, want to do a little bit more of their own custom things, these are good things. And also we're looking at our workshop for global, which should be significantly longer than the one that we had at Ride a Boom. So,
Yeah, I told him. That's what I told him.
yeah.
This was based off one of the questions that we didn't have a chance to ask because we had to speed along. So
Yeah. So that's a good. So Sam had a question. How would you configure this for those of us who don't have Unify?
you just wouldn't use the unify logic. So if we go back to the IOC rules here, and you would just modify this conditions, and you would just remove all of this.
Yeah. So
That's it.
that basically, yeah, that well, you would basically you could still use the Entra ID
Let's say you could
exist.
use Entra still, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So you're only going to get that Entra ID is if you are signing in with a device that's either registered or joined in Entra. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to send that ID if I'm registered in a different tenant. If I'm in a different tenant, registered or joined, and I sign into this other person's, it's not going to send that ID. I've tested that out and proved that to be the case. So yeah, that's a good way to do that. So, but something to keep in mind. Uh, it doesn't mean that threat actors are not going to be able to gain that foothold. There are programs out there that are designed to get them to trick users into letting them register their own like forged devices inside of Entra. So something to keep in mind there. But a couple of things you can do to prevent that are, disable the device code authentication. You can do that within Fortify and prevent them from being able to use a device code to register devices. Kind of can better control that.
Can you
It
show
says,
what you just said about registering devices?
which part do you want to see the Fortify control for that, the device code, or you want to see Entra how the devices
Oh,
show up?
you're talking about okay, you're talking about in Entra, not in SaaS alerts. You're not alerting on it. Can you
Yeah.
alert?
So. Mhm.
Can you alert on new registered device? That's something that would be.
There is an event called New Device that will show up supposedly when a device is registered. Does it? I don't know that Microsoft's consistent with this event, if to be honest, but it's definitely a good thing to keep an eye on.
We alert on any MFA registration, but we don't
Yeah.
alert on that. So that'd be interesting to look at.
Jeff also asked a question, what is the purpose of the mobile device rule when having Unify enabled?
We don't track mobile device telemetry yet.
Correct. The closest that we get is if it is a device that's been registered with Intune, and then we will get that ID from the device and show it as a mobile device. So basically, it meets that condition of it sending the ID. However, we're only going to get that ID if it is an application that was pushed out with Intune. If you register your device with the company portal and you got all set up, and then you go out to your Play Store that you normally use and you download Outlook, it's not going to send that ID. It's only going to send the ID from that, like if the administrator has pushed out Intune or pushed out Outlook to your device, and it's going to send it. Something to keep in mind. all these things that I've tested.
Yep.
I have another question, Tim.
Yeah, please.
Can you go back to the customized alert severity section?
Absolutely.
It's about a particular rule that relates to Datto EDR. Can you search for endpoint.monitoring.event?
Yep. So that's this guy right here.
So that one by default is critical. And I
Make
was
it
wondering
low.
what kind of alerts does it check for? Like, I mean,
Everything.
it's normalized. Okay.
Yeah, make it low for now. It should not be critical in anybody's environment, and it's because right now everything that comes from EDR is deemed critical. So whether it's low, medium, or critical from EDR, we're not able to right now disseminate the difference. So any event coming over from EDR is deemed critical. I literally had a partner that got 3,000 tickets in 1 week because of this event here.
Same. Same.
So so what I would tell you is this is the only event that I'll ever recommend to make a low, because if something's medium or critical, it typically is for a very, very good reason. So make this low. That doesn't stop you from looking at the EDR events to create rules for it, right? So let's duplicate our tab here. And this is kind of what I show partners on how I handle EDR events. Analysis. By the way, we saw a snippet of the new date range they're doing. It's going to be a drop down, and you can choose 7 days, 2 weeks, a month. It will no longer be you have to choose a calendar date range anymore. You still can do that if you want to, but everybody usually goes back a week or a month or something like that, and it's kind of a preset range. So this will be less clicks. I'm OCD when it comes to clicks. I saw that feature yesterday and got very excited.
No, it
But
has a
let's go
nice
back.
UI too. Like you see the
Say again?
green. You see kind of like a green. Yeah, it's cool.
Yes. So we're going to go with everything actually from Datto EDR here. So we'll go Datto EDR and run report. And then I'm going to go off of does it have any? We don't have any for a while. So let's do this. We'll go back. I know when we had some last. I think it was around the May time frame, but we'll go just in case. There we go. Run report. Because we had ours moved to, all right, so there we go. So monitoring event, there's a critical event here.
Hey,
And,
Tim. I put
yes.
I just for everybody in there, I put a screenshot of in the chat on what the new analysis looks like. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. So, and
So
I'll throw it up on screen here just so that way everybody has a big view of it. So as you can see here, you have your pre-selections, which are going to be awesome.
Tim,
Nice.
would the device, would that be a great example for like something to create an IOC, like a customized event?
So I would do both. It kind of depends, right? So like, for example, let's take a look at this one, right? So we got the input, we got the monitoring event here. Let's go into our spyglass so that way we can look at the event. This one's based off of a shim database persistence via this executable. When I look this up, this is basically for legacy applications to do stuff within the database. So this is not necessarily a bad thing. If you have old applications, they're absolutely going to be using this to do their job sometimes. However, it's obviously got a MITRE code attached to it, so it can be bad. So let's just go off the premise that this is not this file. Let's say it's bad.exe, right? So I then want to go into either responder IOCs. It depends, right? If it's hey, this is known to be bad, but it may not be bad, IOC. If it's known to be bad, I'm not creating an IOC. I'm creating a respond rule. So respond rule, and then this is an EDR ISO test rule. Events, we're going to go down and grab Datto EDR. There we are. Orgs and accounts. Conditions, we're going to grab the monitoring event. And then again, one time within 1 hour, filter, and good old description details, which equals joint description additional. And by the way, for everybody that doesn't know that, joint description additional equals description details. Why we didn't name them the same, I have no idea. But they equal each other. So now I'm going to take this MITRE code here that we were provided so lovely with, and that MITRE code exists, and in combination with, we'll call it bad.exe. So if bad.exe ever shows up on any machine that I have, in combination with this MITRE code, 100% confirmed, bad, malicious, get it out of here. And now down here, instead of using EDR to isolate the device, I can do it from here as long as it's mapped. So EDR, isolate device, add, and simultaneously kick them out of Microsoft at the same time. So instead of doing separate actions from two different portals, I can now take both actions from one portal. Makes it more powerful. I don't have to do things in two separate UIs. And again, the EDR isolation requires the mapping. So make sure that it is not in unmapped. If it's in unmapped, it will not isolate.
Yeah, that's
And
one
that's how
thing
you
we
take
need to
advantage
cover
of
during
your.
our workshop is the isolation for EDR and its requirements.
Yep.
I also noticed that underneath there was a severity and it said medium. I wonder if we could do one for like severity critical or something under the event description. Did you notice that?
Where at? Sorry.
Under the under analysis for the monitor
Oh,
M endpoint, there's one that's like you see where it says severity medium under the you were right where you were at under the little magnifying glass
sorry.
and under it's in the paragraph for joint description additional where it says severity medium.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, you could absolutely add that in, right? So, because again, all you gotta do is just copy and paste, and then you would just throw that into the rule, add an and statement, and
I wonder
then,
if there's one for like event like if I wonder if there's a critical or is it high or something. I don't know how Datto does it.
yeah, I am not entirely sure, but let's expand the date range here and see
But
if we can't.
but that would be a good way to like identify like important ones that Datto considers to be critical versus like a medium, which may not be so critical or so important to create a ticket.
Yep. Let's see here, monitoring event 81. So a lot more. So when we change them to low, medium, yeah, severity high right here. So
Oh
there you
yeah,
go.
cool. Yeah, so severity low would be created a critical event in SaaS alerts.
Right. So that's again, that's why you want to lower that event down the low because right now Sasslers cannot disseminate between EDR severity and our severity. Ours are all critical, but in EDR you got low, medium, high. I
Mhm.
don't need I don't need to take it off of a low 9 times out of 10. But again, a high or a medium, I may definitely want to act off of.
Yeah.
And it depends on the telemetry that we get, right? So like right here, it did not really give us a lot of information. So
No.
I may just want to be alerted through an IOC. If there's something high, tell me about it, just so that way I have the notification coming in. So because I made this a low, I might create a severity high, go back over here, and instead of specifying this stuff, I'll just go with this, and we'll just pretend that we'll just go into IOCs actually. So we'll go into IOC rules. We'll leave that one, and then new rule, and then EDR. Come on, there we go. EDR severity high. And then we're going to go grab EDR, all orgs, all accounts. And then we're going to grab that monitoring event. And then one time within 1 hour, filter, description details, severity high is in the description details. Tell me about it. Let me know that
Um,
that event occurred.
I wonder if you could also do one. I don't know if this sort works or not. Maybe you can tell me. But like, could you do one that says that for the ones where it says like not provided or something, we could do a event description details does not contain like threat not provided, or is that something you think we should get an alert on no matter what if this threat was not provided or not?
Well, again, I don't know why we're not getting the telemetry from EDR, so that we
Right.
probably would have to inquire with Adam as to
Yeah.
why we're not getting these details from EDR, and if that ended up becoming something to where it's high because we don't have these details, then
Uh,
maybe. But if
that
it's
was a
just
while ago too. That was 2005. So I'm 2025. So maybe it was.
might have been fixed by then, right? This was November of
Mhm.
last year, this one in particular. So I think we would have to talk to Adam first to figure out why we're not getting this telemetry from EDR, where it says just not provided, not provided, not provided. So for me, without anything provided, if the severity was deemed high by EDR, I'm still wanting to take a look at it.
Good point. Good point. No, that's good. Yeah, I know Adam and team are working pretty diligently on mapping a lot of like especially like Rocket Cyber events to specific events in SaaS alerts rather than mapping them to already pre-existing events.
Correct. And
Um,
everything's monitoring info, so hopefully we get a little bit more uniqueness and granularity to that.
hmm. I like the new date range, dude. I can't wait for that to be in the system. More people have been asking for that.
Yes,
Little
definitely.
things make you guys happy. Little things.
Less clicks. Efficiency is key.
That's clicks.
We saw Axios yesterday.
Yeah,
Interesting. It didn't.
it's still out there.
Yeah, it's still out there. And our client clicked on a whatever, and he's into managed Entra ID join. And so it was auto sign in. He didn't enter his password. It was blocked, but it was interesting because I didn't see any alerts. Normally we see the alerts really quickly when somebody's attempting to sign in outside of Canada because we block all countries. And I was like, oh, it doesn't look, you didn't enter your password, doesn't look like anything's happened. And then a few minutes later, all the SaaS alerts started rolling in for Axios. And I was like, oh, okay, guess something did happen. So went in there and he was already blocked. So that was nice. I always love it when you guys get in there faster than me. Delights me.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
That is the goal.
Yeah.
And that's going to get even better whenever Microsoft Event Hub comes into play. We're testing that now with a few partners. Matter of fact, does anybody in here use Microsoft Event Hub? Anybody?
Besides Enrique, you don't count.
No, it's only Enrique. There he is.
What is it?
That's awesome.
I'm trying to get somebody else, Enrique. That's just not happening.
I need to cancel my event hub now because you guys are making me feel bad.
So once we get enough telemetry from Enrique, then it'll go production. But we got to test for a while, so because we've only got Enrique. So
can I flip the bill to everyone?
yes.
I think you should demand some sort of credit or something, Enrique. You should have, like, at least in something in some fine print.
Can you tell us about it? Is it just faster telemetry? They're asking you to pay to have
Enrique,
access?
would you mind telling us what it's like from the Microsoft side? Like, what the average cost is, if you don't mind going into that?
Let me log in. I'm actually logged in because I'm trying to decipher an issue I have. Let me look at my billing because I know they charge, I think it's per API or per message, but let me see if I can decipher.
Okay. That'd be good to know. They have a calculator that I don't know how accurate it is.
And the benefit of this is that we're only able to hit Microsoft's API every 15 minutes. Every vendor has this limitation.
Yep.
So what Event Hub's going to allow us to do is bypass hitting Microsoft's API, and we're going to pretty much get the events almost in real time. So where instead of having a slight delay where Microsoft gets the event at 1:05, but they don't produce it to the API until 1:10, that's a 5-minute wait time. That almost will disappear with Microsoft Event Hub because we're no longer going through the API to get the event. So that is a major bonus to having that Microsoft Event Hub whenever we do release that feature.
Yep.
5 minutes isn't bad, but 30 seconds would be way better.
It doesn't apply to like every organization may not need that like exact real time, but there are certain ones that demand better than 15 minutes.
Yep.
I'm thinking like banks, government, stuff like that. They don't mind the extra cost. But it'd be good to know kind of what their cost is. Yeah, I don't foresee us charging anything extra for it, but Microsoft does.
It would be us paying for it through direct with Microsoft, right?
Every time I come into my subscription, I get a heart attack.
It won't be a requirement, Tina, to work with Microsoft, but it will be if you're saying, hey, 15 minutes is too slow, then we'll have an option. As far as we know, that's other than good luck. Take care, Steven. Steven's off to fight the bad guys.
Yeah, good luck with that. Hopefully that works out well.
As an incident.
Mm-hmm. No, Tim, I appreciate you bringing up that endpoint thing. That's really helpful. That's something that we run into pretty frequently too. Is this just like when we connecting up with KSIM and Datto EDR, it's pretty loud. But I think it's some good ideas on creating IOCs for it.
And while we're waiting on Enrique to do what he's doing, this was something that we also brought up in the class, but we couldn't show a good version of it because we were looking at DigitalOcean, which I don't even know who that is, but I definitely am not going to enhance suppress that.
You don't know
So
DigitalOcean?
no. So when you're working with enhanced suppressing, especially when it comes to the Microsoft events, like file event modified outside of country, which happens all the time because of Microsoft's DFS, you really can't stop it. Even the Canadians who think my data can't leave the country, yes, your data can. And it does. Um,
Teen is very offended by that statement.
So with this, you have two ways to quiet it, obviously, and this is kind of Ben's go-to. Me and Ben have a little bit of a difference of opinion here, but it's okay. You of course have power filters within settings to where you can come down here and add in the Microsoft data centers over and over and over and over and over and over and over. The reason why I don't prefer this method is because it's only using a two-piece and statement. One being the ASN, which yes is difficult to get. The other being geographical, which anybody could fake within 5 seconds. So that really is not helpful. The ASN part is what is helpful. However, enhanced suppression allows you to do more, and I prefer the more. So for me, whenever I see a Microsoft data center outside of country, also, by the way, there's like 60 data centers. You'd have to whitelist like 60 of them, right?
Called whack-a-mole. Microsoft
If you
whack-a-mole.
Exactly. If you do it through enhanced suppression, you've only got to do it for each file event type, which I believe there's 12 in total. So that's 12 suppressions versus 60 data center power filter whitelistings. I'd rather do the 12. Again, it's time. So for me here, we got file event modified outside of country. It's Microsoft Corporation, which I trust. I'm going to enhance suppress. Never forget rule number one, which is make it partner wide. It's Microsoft. I trust it for everybody. If you leave this on the user, you did nothing. So make sure you go partner wide. I also go down here and grab IP owner. I grab the domain owner and I grab the ASN owner. So now I have a much more powerful and statement, in my opinion, than just the ASN name. I don't care about the country, so I leave that off because I want all Microsoft data centers around the world. This will accomplish that for me. So now that I've got my and statement here, next, and then I always have my partner's name at MSFT, files, modified, outside of country. And then skip, and create suppression. This will now kill everything, every event that's modified outside of country for all of your Microsoft data centers across the entire world. So I created one suppression to tackle all those data centers. And again, you have to do it for file event open, file event upload, download, deleted, anything that is a file event outside of approved login location. And it looks like Enrique is putting some stuff in the chat.
No, that's really good, Enrique. So, like, what size of a client is that? Like, how many users do you think?
That's ourselves.
Okay.
And with all the guest accounts and stuff that log in to our Nerdio and all the instances, it's over 100.
Okay.
Internally, it's like 8. But
Yeah,
it just,
so yeah.
so it breaks down to Microsoft. Well, and you know what the funny thing is? The majority of that is Microsoft Defender for Cloud.
Well, that's interesting.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's kind
$15
of
out of that. 16 out of the 1796 is Defender for Cloud.
oh shoot. Okay.
So then all other operations are 197. Local redundant storage list and create container operations 89 cents.
Mhm.
Intra-continent data transfer out 3 cents. Index tags less than 1 cent. List operations less than 1 cent. LRS
Not bad.
class 1 operations less than 1 cent.
And you get no free
But-
cloud transactions.
So the that calculator was actually pretty spot on then, as that was about kind of like the price I landed. I was like 4 cents off. So
Okay.
that's really good. Yeah, here is the URL for that. So, Tim, to come back to you, what about just adding, do you ever tell people just to add Microsoft Corporation by itself with no locations and instead of kind of chasing it like we're doing here?
And again, no, because it's only using the ASN, so it's a one-piece
Okay.
and statement now. So again, is a bad guy going to get the ASN? It's not impossible, but I'd rather have them have to own all three of these.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, I know they're going to roll advanced suppression and power filters into one kind of thing. So, my biggest thing is I want to be able to select those file event types before and not have to go through my logs and find them all.
Agreed.
So I know that is on its way as well,
Future
just to be able to
suppression.
do that. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. I think Adam wants to do that
Yep.
this quarter, if I'm not
It,
mistaken.
it and what that would look like is that in events you would go to suppress rules, and they are, from our understanding, they're going to put a button here that says new, and you'd be able to basically create your own unique suppression without having to
Yeah.
actually have the event occur. Which obviously the most optimal use of that will be for traveling. People tell you, "Hey, look, I'm traveling to India. I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. Perfect. New plus this org, this user, outside approved login location, India. Here's the time frame. Suppress." And then you skip all your IOC rules, your respond rules, your notifications, so that way you already know that they're going. As of today, you got to wait for them to log in that one time and then suppress the moving forward for the next 2 weeks or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and then there's going to be an API for that as well. So,
and just so that way I can show what Ben was referring to, that he brought up. And again, another reason why I don't like it is it's a single point of failure versus having those three pieces of the and statement. Was him just coming in here and going like this and adding that in.
yep.
By adding in Microsoft Corporation all by itself, it's basically saying if this ASN exists, ignore it, which this takes care of every event. So you could literally have this in all by itself. This will take care of opened events, modified events. So this is, if you want to be like super efficient, this is the best way probably to do that. However, to me, I like the combination of having all three of these. They have to fake all three of these in order to get past me versus just getting that ASN. So it just, I don't know. I like the three piece more than I like the one piece, if that makes sense. But to each their own. Both work well. And Microsoft Corporation all by itself will accomplish the same thing in mass scale. It's just you're only relying on the ASN and that's it. So
Yep.
if I can make my stuff stronger, I want to make my stuff stronger, and this will do that for me. So
Can you go do
Again.
this in my orgs, please? You guys go set this up for me, right?
I don't think MSA does that, Ben. So that's a Ben thing.
We do if you want us to do that. All you have to do is say, hey, just put a ticket in and we're happy to make those configuration changes for you. There's certain things that we do proactively, but anything with power filters we won't touch without your explicit permission, just because we would never want to be wrong and assume, oh, this person's signing in from the US a lot, they must be in the US. So if we're wrong, then that's on us, and you'd be like, I'm suing you guys. I know how litigious Canadians can be. Just that's what you. Yeah. So
Cool.
Tim, are you going to global? Have you gotten your anything mentioned yet?
No, not yet. Gary's got me on the list, but it's not 100% confirmed.
Okay, good. I'll be there. Apparently, I'm doing like 2 talks and maybe doing that workshop. So
Nice.
if anybody wants to go to Vegas in what 2 months, see you
I'll
there.
be there.
Mark will be
Yeah,
there too, Tina. So get him to ride a mechanical bull.
We'll get him on the bull. Did he go on the bull last time or just you?
Just me.
Okay, we gotta get Mark on the bull.
Yeah. Tim, you gonna ride a mechanical bull?
What's
Tim's
that?
like, oh no. I said Tim's like, I ride a mechanical bull.
Probably
I'm
couldn't.
not-
If I fall off and hurt my right arm, it'd probably be a bad day. So I
It would be a
can't.
very bad day.
Yeah, I can't risk that. Unfortunately, I don't get to do anything that's fun anymore.
Virtual reality. There's a virtual reality thing over there. We'll do that.
We'll do that. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So last time at Connect, I think it was Connect, they had this virtual reality arena set up that you could do, and you walk around the thing. It's completely wireless, and you could shoot at each other and stuff. So we'll do that.
Hey guys, I have a not related question if
Sure.
we're at the
Yeah, what
time
you
of
got?
not related questions.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely. Interject at any time.
So we have an issue where anybody that uses Zoom to schedule meetings and use G Suite as their email, anytime I get an invite from Zoom with G Suite, it never hits my tenant. Somehow, somewhere, I overlocked my environment, and I have not been able to find that. And I think it has something to do with the ICS or the way the calendar invite comes in. Anytime
So when
people send me a meeting from Zoom and they're like, I don't have the link, and I'm like, are you on G Suite? They're like, yes. That's a known fact.
Interesting. I haven't heard of that one. I find sometimes Zoom's emails are a little unreliable.
No, this is everything.
So you're saying you're getting a Zoom invite, but it's coming from a Google user, and because it is, it never hits your inbox?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Oh, so it's coming to you.
It's coming to me. So let's say I go to your calendar and I book a Zoom meeting with you. So Zoom is integrated into your G Suite because you're not a Microsoft user.
Yeah.
And that automatically send me the invite.
Mhm.
That invite never comes.
Have you done a mail trace through Office to see if there's anything, like if it's hitting your server at all?
That's what I just started doing a little while ago because I have
Yeah.
an onboarding call today that I'm not going to onboard because I don't have a link. So
Is the event on your calendar, or is it missing from your calendar as well?
I'm missing from my calendar completely.
Oh, yeah, it's not even getting to his inbox then.
No, it's being rejected at the server level. I'm almost sure. I don't
I
even
would
see it in
definitely
Avan.
check mail trace.
Like not even Avanon sees it.
Oh, that's weird.
So I guess it's rejecting because the first thing that happens for email security is Exchange gets it, and then it's whether it's journaled or API inline, whatever it is, then it's processed. So I think it's like being blocked right at the entrance of Exchange.
Yeah, that is very weird. So Avanan basically just interfaces with Microsoft, right? You don't replace your MX records or anything with them,
No,
right? Okay,
correct.
cool.
It's just like Inky ties in via APIs and
Okay.
connectors and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
But I don't see anything on there, so that means it's not coming in.
Let me see here. Yeah, I think Mailtrace is going to be your best bet. Because that's where it like really gets down to the exchange level. But no, that is a good question. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up my Microsoft, but I don't think it wants to cooperate with me. Well, let me know if you hear anything.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I'll see if I can send you some information, but it sounds like you're already in the right spot. Man, my Microsoft's being very uncooperative today.
I was going to say there was a service outage or degradation earlier, so if you're having issues getting into some of the admin portals, that's a known issue today.
Oh, fun. That's exactly what it's like. I'm loading, it's just like white screen, white screen, white screen, and now it's giving me like some outlines, but that is it.
Pretty common lately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just stuck. So
Well, you can always just go check the status, the service health status on the admin page that you can't access.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Microsoft.
Yeah, I think I think I'm gonna spend all the whole call just like clicking. I'll click on one button and the slide out is just like ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Oh, good luck, Enrique. I'll see if I can if it ever loads, I'll try to point you in the
Enrique,
right
I want to
direction.
know if it hits the mail server. That's quick, easy.
I'm on the
Stuff.
message trace right now.
Okay. Let's
I'm
see.
curious if it's coming from Zoom or from like this was ScalePad too.
Well.
I don't use
Like
What
I
is
get
this?
the reminders of upcoming meetings,
Yeah.
but not the actual invite.
I would definitely check MailTrace. You're on the right path there. That's the best way that I've found to track down missing emails. That'll tell you if it was moved or if it was flagged as spam or some craziness happened. But
Because if it's
apparently,
Zoom, it's zoom.com.
yep.
Are these coming from known contacts or people that you've never met with before?
Yeah. No contacts, some cases.
Yeah, I get most of my email from no-reply at zoom.us.
At zoom.us.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder it gave me an error with zoom.com.
Well, does anybody else have any questions, anything that's bothering them while we wait for Microsoft to catch up with us? Tim, you've shocked them with your knowledge.
Goals accomplished.
Excellent, excellent. Well, hopefully we'll see some of you guys at Connect this year. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
We'll be there.
You gonna be there, Enrique?
Yeah.
Enrique, just ask Copilot, man. Copilot will give you the answer.
Believe me, I've asked. They tell me to go to Claude.
It's about how you ask. Told you to
Yeah.
go to Claude. Here's a program to write.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Shoot. Yeah, that's one thing that's really cool about MailTrace. Let me see if I can share my screen. And if you guys haven't seen this under the Exchange admin, but you can run this MailTrace for like failed messages for the last 7 days or messages received, and that will generate you a pretty detailed report as far as where your email is going. So I think Enrique, you're in the right spot, and that this should help you track it down, hopefully. Well, that's what I've always used. I'm very curious. I'm very surprised that Avnon's not picking it up though.
Well, the thing is, if Exchange blocks it,
True. Maybe it goes to Exchange and then they block it and then it never actually gets to it. Never gets to that point.
seeing some denied for MSA ticket updated. But this isn't the journaling rule for Drop Suite.
Well, let us know what happens.
I definitely will. Anything new that I missed at the beginning of the call?
I don't know. I was late too.
We went over the IOC for Impossible Travel, but that's it.
And
It
we
was
talked
the
about
one.
Write a Boom.
That was a lot of fun. That was Tim's first security conference. So it was yeah.
It
We
was an awesome one.
yeah, I made him sit down and sit in John Strand's talk in the morning. That was a lot of fun. And we did some hackery type of stuff. So those are always fun. And he got his first deck of backdoors and breaches.
Nice.
Yeah.
There was too much content that I wanted to see. That was the only problem. I couldn't be in two places at once.
Well,
So
so I think they record pretty much all of those, right? And 'cause like the first time I went to Texas, I was like taking pictures, I was recording stuff on my phone, I was doing all this, and then like a couple of days after the event, they're like, "Here's all the events all recorded in video and in the slides," and I'm like, okay. So then I stopped like taking pictures of slides and listened to like something I really wanted to follow up with that day. So
yeah. So just having the time to go back and watch it and
Yeah.
focus on it. There's just too much all the time. And take everything that you want to apply from there and implement it. Not enough time.
No, never is. Never is. Well, cool. Well, guys, I guess we can wrap it up a little early.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Nice to see you.
Nice to see y'all too.
See
Hope
you
you have a
guys
good week.
later.
Oh,
Likewise.
apparently there were people in the room.
Likewise.
Oops.
See you.
Later, guys.
Oh, bye, guys.